So, ladies and gentlemen, no intro for today's video. We're just going to get right into it. I want to talk about the situation with Frogan and Tectone because I don't think Tectone did anything wrong. Now, to give you a bit of context, Frogan has been on the internet saying some pretty disparaging, terrible things about, pretty much everyone. Insulting Tectone in the past, making fun of his divorce. Frogan has said some absolutely horrendous things. And Twitch didn't care. Twitch does not care if she says that she wishes American soldiers got PTSD. She was banned for a day. A day. But what I want to do is I want to point out the hypocrisy and the contrast of Twitch as a platform and really elucidate how these people have no principles, they have no morals, they have no standards. They simply do what is in their best interest politically of the people behind the scenes and financially. So here's a clip of Frogan on Twitch talking about Tectone. Now, I think this is important to point out because Tectone was banned for calling Frogan a fat piece of shit on Twitch. And he did it in context of, something she did. He was being disparaging because he had every right to be. She's a horrible, horrible person.
Bomb vest? Your fucking mom, you dumb bitch.
Shielding from the bomb vest? Well, we both have them strapped to our chest because we're both Arabs, so I think neither of us. Neither of us, I guess.
In a scenario like that, who would die first, me or you?
I don't know.
Or would we die at the same time?
Mine wouldn't fucking go off. I know it wouldn't go off.
Do you think you would die by proximity?
The Jewish part of me would probably skimp out on the Jewish part of me would skimp out on the actual supplies for the bomb vest. So I think mine wouldn't work as well.
That's insane.
So I think I'm fucked.
That's insane.
Yours would go off first.
You know what I don't understand? I feel like whenever people are shitting, being hating ass bitches, they're never original. I want original shit. Okay, you call me Hijabba the Hutt. Tectone started that meme. He's an ugly fucking freak that got caught liking lolly. All right.
Just one more time.
Ugly fucking freak that got caught original. I want original shit. Okay, you call me Hijabba the Hutt. Tectone started that meme. He's an ugly fucking freak that got caught liking lolly.
So she says that Tectone is an ugly effing freak that got caught liking lolly. I don't know. Maybe she's thinking about Vosh. I don't recall any sort of scandal where Tectone was caught liking lolly. Although, here's my position on lolly. Let me just, reveal the magician's code. I don't care. I don't think that lolly is some sort of gateway into being a pedo. I think that there are just some people that like petite body types. I think for whatever reason they do. And I think that's perfectly fine. As long as the person is over the age of 18, what do I care? People really like Gargura and stuff like that. That's an adult woman playing a character that is obviously over the age of 18. What the fuck do I care? It's not my cup of tea, but it's they use it as lolly and pedo are interchangeable, and I don't agree with that. I like Rev Says Desu, and he's a lolly enthusiast. Yeah, I don't think he's the worst person in the world. I don't understand how these people can't understand this, especially when they're terrorist supporters. If you're a terrorist supporter, it's really kind of rich to see you making these sort of moral judgments on people.
All right. We're going to be offended by an ugly, bald motherfucker that's divorced and likes lolly.
Right.
Okay. Ooh. Can't sleep at night because of that.
Yeah, so, he's divorced and he's bald and he likes lollies. So obviously, she can make fun of him and she can insult him and she can say that stuff. No problem. Twitch has no problem with it. It's perfectly fine. But if Tectone calls her a fat piece of shit, well, then he's suspended for 2 weeks, mind you. 2 weeks. Now he got suspended. He got unsuspended after 2 days because of pushback. But 2 weeks they were going to ban him. Well, they didn't even ban this fat piece of shit. So there's a lot to go over as it relates to Frogan and this situation. More than just this, because Tectone being banned. Yeah, it sucked. Mainly because it was just another example of an undeserved rule enforcement from Twitch. And whenever stuff like that happens, it erodes trust in Twitch as a platform. It erodes trust in the people behind the scenes. And for gaming, and as a viewer of some of these streamers, it makes it tougher. It makes it tougher for everyone involved. When you feel like there's this chaos and this imbalance, and there's no fairness and there's no mechanism to control it, yeah, it sucks. But Tectone reacted to a video of Ethan Klein, and I really, really wanted to bring this up. I really wanted to bring this up because we're about to witness one of the most pathetic, cucked out of their mind losers I've ever seen. It is shocking what a weak and just overall, from the physical to the mental to the way they speak, just an inferior level human being who's going to make the bold declarative statement that Tectone is one of the worst and nastiest people he's ever seen. Let me just make this clear. Tectone doesn't even make the top 25 of the nastiest people. He doesn't even make the top 50. And to say something like that, and it's one of the reasons why I have no respect for Ethan Klein and his platform, because that's really what it is. It's a gossip rag. They spew misinformation about people. Oh, I heard this about this. They blast out this sort of garbage, and it's always negative. It's always defamatory. Everyone's always lying except for them. They're low information retards. And, I understand that in this video, Tectone kind of glazes them a little bit. That's his prerogative. That's his choice. He can make whatever decision he wants. I choose to live in reality and recognize that while the people going after Ethan Klein are bad, Ethan Klein himself is also a terrible piece of garbage. Somebody that has benefited off of lying about people and misrepresenting them and stuff doesn't mean that what happened to him is deserved. In fact, the opposite. He doesn't deserve any of the shit from these freaks on the left. Not one bit of it. And to be stabbed in the back by friends and stuff like that, yeah, it sucks. But anyway, without further ado,
I feel like there's a bunch of fucking. Can you say snowflakes on Twitch? Can you say that?
Very
over the
nasty.
past years is
Very
like
mean.
insanely nasty
here's our protagonist here. Oh, just brace yourself.
shit.
Yeah.
Worse than anyone I've seen.
Oh, well, who is this guy? Why is he such a pussy? No disrespect. I got no idea who this guy is.
All the disrespect. All the disrespect from my end, not his end, my end.
Why is bro just lying, saying I've done horrible, nasty shit worse than anything he's ever seen? Okay, name it then. Say what I've done.
If this is true, absolutely mind-blowing, insane shit.
Go ahead.
Hold on. It's not worse than anything you've seen.
He was unbanned after 48 hours.
How could it be worse
apparently.
than anything you've seen?
Worse than... Okay, literally no. I guess
He was
not.
very nasty.
He,
Well, I'm just saying, people like fucking want to like get lay down and fucking like.
I'm talking about
and
specifically
castrate-
against Frogan.
But like he called her fat, right, and ugly.
That's the worst shit you've ever seen? Ethan got sent.
That's not even worse than Frogan making those statements, a couple weeks ago. Like how pathetic must you be? How cucked out of your mind must you be that you're like, yeah, Tectone, he's one of the worst. What, did he hurt your feelings? What, he fuck your mom and steal your lunch money? Like, what are we doing here? He's one of the worst. Like, nothing that Tectone has said. Look, I'll be honest about Tectone. I like Tectone's general demeanor. He seems to me to be a guy that would go along to get along, basically. He seems like a guy that would, speak his mind, and be honest and forthright. But he seems like a guy that, I mean, even in this video, as Ethan and his team are disparaging him, he's sort of like, oh, no disrespect, and sort of like playing this game of, I don't know about the game, but portraying himself as somebody who's like, oh yeah, I really like that Ethan is talking about me. It's really good. Like, he seems like somebody that is the opposite of what this person is trying to characterize him as.
Brother, who's the white guy with the pipe? Brother, the reason why I was so upset in my response towards Frogan was because she's the same person laughing at Ethan receiving human skulls.
True.
Which is the implication that someone's going to come kill his kids, and Frogan laughed at that. The same person, I'm from a military family. My father served 42 years. The same person who said that all military vets hope misfortune befalls upon them, and they hope they get PTSD while promoting the death of American soldiers. You're going to say me calling somebody an ugly, fat piece of shit is the worst thing you've ever heard? Jesus Christ. Bro, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Plato's allegory of the cave, but you must live in the sunshine and rainbow world if that's the worst shit that you've ever heard, and that's not on me. Like, don't get me wrong. Am I an asshole? Sure, absolutely. But you might not like the things that I'm saying, but you can't tell me the things that I'm saying are wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, once again, like, you disrespect the troops, you disrespect me. I don't take their sacrifice for granted, not 1 second. I get to live the beautiful life I live because of what the troops have done for the U.S. You think I'm going to tolerate disrespect? Absolutely not.
That's a great statement. I respect Tectone so much more for a statement like that, especially when on Twitch the thing to do is to shit on U.S. soldiers and troops, and so I commend Tectone huge for that. Yeah, I agree. I agree completely.
Which is horrifically mean. I get called a fucking baby killer.
I was talking specifically about
That's way
Frogan.
worse than being called fat and ugly, in my opinion.
I absolutely 100% agree. You want to know why? Because me calling someone fat and ugly is rooted in reality. Ethan being called a baby killer is just fucking horrible. I will never be upset for anybody calling me something or making fun of me for something that I did. It's when people make shit up in this warped perception of reality in order to label every single person that they disagree with as a criminal. It's like, here's the thing with Ethan.
Yeah, absolutely 100%. 100% I agree with that. In fact, I just did a video on Hassan, and Hassan, the brain-dead, degenerate, subhuman animal that he is, the terrorist, glazing retard extraordinaire, he saw a clip from somebody that he didn't like, and it was a bit of theater, like a young woman was singing. And Hassan's first take was, what are all these right-wing people, why do they have these young girls? This guy's a pedophile. Like, just absolutely troglodyte behavior. And it's, yeah, you have to make things up about people that you don't like. If they were really that bad in the first place, you wouldn't have to lie about them. You wouldn't have to, if somebody like Hassan, I don't have to lie about anything as it relates to Hassan. The only thing I have to do to articulate what a terrible and irredeemable, subhuman, terrorist-supporting piece of garbage Hassan is just lay out the things that he said and show clips of him talking and putting it on the internet. I don't have to make up a single thing. Monkey D. Houthi is his video.
Hassan and his group could call Ethan a bunch of names. Wow, look at this guy, he's balding. Oh, look at his old videos, he's fat. But no, what do? They have to label them as a fucking criminal. That
Everybody's like trying to defend her.
Sure.
Not yelling at you. I am yelling at you.
I don't really understand what the
but not-
point is that you're trying to make.
Because
though.
I get frustrated when everybody's like trying to defend her so much. It's like she's the ultimate victim of online harassment.
It's not.
It's like people are nasty to her.
I'm pointing out how weird it is for iDubbbz to reach out to him specifically. That's why I'm saying that.
Right.
I'm not comparing. It's in a vacuum. I'm not comparing it to anyone else.
I'm getting triggered. It's my fault.
All right.
I will be real. Like, if anybody has the ability to be upset about the treatment they've received, it's 100% Ethan. Like, and I don't know how people aren't painfully aware of this.
So I do agree with him. I also think that Ethan, I think Ethan is pretty terrible. I think, I'm not saying that he deserves it. That's not my point. I don't think that he deserves it. Nobody deserves having human skulls sent to them or having CPS call. Like, that in and of itself is just cruel and disgusting. And that's coming from somebody that doesn't like Ethan or his channel or the type of leftist, bottom feeding losers that he brings on and pays. And, that loser behind the scenes that are like, oh, Tectone's one of the, it's like, yeah, if somebody said that on my channel, I would fire them immediately. But, like, yeah, Ethan doesn't deserve any of that. What he does deserve is to be criticized for the things that he said and the things that he's done. Like, for example, with Ethan has made statements about wanting to bomb, I think it was like an NRA meeting, or it was an NRA convention, I believe it was. He has said things and done things that are absolutely disgusting and horrible. And he should be pilloried for that. And he should be excoriated. And he lies about people, like in this video. Just allow it, like he pushes back a bit. But it's like, I think he's more pushing back because he doesn't like the fact that this person's defending Rogan. But it's like, this person just said that, like, Tectone had put out some of the nastiest and worst content he'd ever seen. That's an outrageous and bold claim. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for today's video. This was the topic. I wanted to cover this because Tectone didn't deserve it. Tectone did nothing wrong. Frogan is a fat piece of shit. She's a horrible person. Terrorist supporter. Twitch allows people like Frogan to say all sorts of disparaging things, but doesn't hold her accountable. There's a double standard there, and I think that pointing it out is in the benefit of everyone, because I think that more pressure needs to be put on these companies to actually have an even distribution of rule enforcement. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.